Welcome to another episode of Camel Wives. It is the week before Christmas, so we're going to continue talking about some Christmas shenanigans and find out what else Dion bought for himself. But first, we're going to talk about how do you say Barbary?
Exactly like that. Barbary.
Barbary.
Not Barberry. I got corrected, y'all. My husband watched the video last night, and he laughed at me in my face. And he was like, bro, it's Barbary. And I was like, what did I say? And he was like, Barberry. I'm like, what's the difference? It's the same thing.
Potato.
Exactly. You know? Everybody understood what I meant. It's a freaking ram.
To be fair, I had to Google it. I didn't know it was spelled a specific way. I would have spelled it exactly how you pronounced it. Barberry. But isn't that like a perfume?
I don't know.
Burberry? I don't know.
I think it's Burberry.
Maybe.
Burberry.
We're a wreck.
Yeah, it was pretty funny last night when he told me. So I had to text you right away and tell you, oh my God, I said it wrong. And he caught me. Not only did I dyslexic the whole thing,
Barbary
I said it wrong.
That was awesome. Barbary hunt sheep.
Oh yeah, Barbary hunt sheep.
That was hilarious.
And then I said it wrong on top of that. But anyways, preparation for Christmas. I am so happy that Christmas is almost through.
Me too.
As a kid, I used to love it, but now that we have to be Santa Claus, it's not the business.
There's a lot of magic that goes into it. I mean, my kids are older, so that magic's all gone. I said, how much? Here's your budget. What do you want? And I already gave them all their presents. Mm-hmm. But like for the little ones, there's a lot of planning and stuff that goes into all of that.
Unfortunately, you know how kids are in school. They told my youngest, and so she does not believe in Santa Claus anymore. She's like, Mom, I know you're Santa. Can I just give you my Christmas list?
Aww.
I'm like, oh no, now what? I don't have any kids to entertain like that. So it took the fun out of it, but
we used to surprise Daniel. Daniel got a Santa present till he was like 13, and that was his last one because it's like the age where you're becoming a young man, you're entering your teens, so that's the last Christmas present from Santa. But we'd go through this whole ritual of stuff. So not only would we wrap the present, hide the present, do all these things, put the Christmas list, all of these things, but his dad and I actually had this ritual where his dad's family celebrates Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. And so before we'd leave for Christmas Eve, every year we had an excuse to go back in the house. Mm-hmm. So Daniel and I would put cookies and milk, and then I'd pack him up in the car, get him all settled. And then either Dad or I would get out of the car and be like, oh, I forgot. Whatever it is, we'd go inside, bite the cookie, drink the milk, and then put all the gifts under the tree.
I love that.
And so when we get home at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, Santa has already come by and put all the presents out.
And he didn't catch on to it at all.
He could not figure out how we were doing it until I told him last year how we were doing it. But he was like, I could not figure out for the life of me how this was happening.
I really thought Santa was coming in the house.
Yeah, he's like, what? Who's breaking in? It's got to be a neighbor. How are they putting it? Who's got the keys?
Now he's got all kinds of questions. What are you guys planning on doing this next week to prepare for Christmas?
So we have some family that might be coming down either this weekend or for Christmas, so we're not exactly sure when they're coming. Okay. And I say down, but they're actually coming like across because they're from Arizona, so it's not down. It's actually sideways. What would be west? No, yes. East?
No, it's west. Know. Yeah, this is east.
So they're coming our way, so it would be east, right?
Oh, yeah, they're coming.
We're a wreck.
They're coming from the west.
Yes.
Yes.
Mess. But yes, they're coming from the west.
That's awesome.
And then for Christmas Eve, we'll have our kids together. I haven't decided. I told Lou I haven't decided if I'm going to make a Christmas ham. Usually my mom makes Christmas ham Christmas Day, but we're not going to my mom's this year. We're going to my in-laws. And my in-laws make like tamales and like menudo and those types of food. So I'm like, well, we're going to have our kids for lunch for Christmas Eve. So maybe I'll just make ham and stuffing and like a traditional Christmas dinner.
Oh, okay.
Dinner. It'll be more like dinner, like lunch and dinner.
Love that. Instead of brunch.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I have not followed a Christmas tradition in a very long time. So since I became an adult myself, I kind of just, whatever we felt like eating is what I'm going to make. It's not really like any kind of tradition. this year I decided to purchase tamales so that way I didn't have to do anything. So I'm just gonna do some tamales and some beans and rice and some green chili and meat and call it a day.
Nice.
Yeah, not very traditional. We're not traditional at all. We usually do our Christmas gifts Christmas Eve in the morning as soon as the kids get up, just because we are a blended family and the kids want to go to the other side of the family. And a couple of our kids' extended family, they do the Christmas going from midnight into the next morning. So I'm like, we're starting our own tradition and we're opening Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve morning. And then Alicia the other day was like, so do we get to open one Christmas gift on Christmas Eve? I'm like, no, you guys are opening all of them on Christmas Eve. She's like, no, on Christmas Eve, since it's our Christmas Eve.
Lord.
I was like, nice try, but no, you guys are opening all of them on Christmas Eve.
Just try and get one even earlier.
Yes, she was.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing.
We don't
Christmas
have
Day.
presents to open
No?
Christmas. No. We've already, I mean, for us, right? For like Lou and I and our kids, even for like Daniel's girlfriend, we've already distributed all of that.
Oh, okay.
All that's left is like, I already delivered all the gifts for my sister and her kids and my mom, and we'll take up Lou's parents and his sisters and his nephew on Christmas Day, but that's really all we have left.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we're probably going to be done Christmas Eve because, like I said, we'll do it with the kids. And then after that, it's adult time. Like, you guys go with the other side of the family. Now it's time for me and Dion. I think we'll probably take like a side-by-side ride or do something like that. It's supposed to rain,
Nice.
so we'll see.
We're still figuring it out, I think, like as far as traditions go. I think, so you have family traditions, right? But you got two families.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, we've got a blended family on top of that. So we have two families plus two families. So it's four families total that we're having to like navigate and trying to figure out who goes where and who's doing what and like put all of these pieces together. So we're still trying to solve for. This seems to be what's working best so far.
Yeah.
Daniel has always done Christmas Eve with his dad and Christmas Day with me. So regardless of what I'm doing with my parents, with his parents, Daniel is with me for Christmas Day and with his dad for Christmas Eve.
Okay.
That's constant, but the rest of it is still
being worked through.
up in the air, and we're figuring it out.
And it's really like playing it kind of by ear. Like, what is everybody planning this year? And maybe next year won't be the same kind of planning as it was this year. So sometimes you got to play it by ear. There's been times where we've had to move our stuff around, but
and every year is different. I mean, Daniel will be a freshman in college next Christmas.
How crazy!
We'll have a junior, a freshman, high school freshman, high school junior, and a college freshman. And so our kids are older, which means Christmas looks just a little bit different.
Yeah, it'll definitely look different next year for you guys.
Maybe Daniel will actually need like underwear and socks next year.
The things that they don't want to get right now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What about New Year? What are we doing for the New Year?
I am an old lady woman. I am an old lady. I do not do anything for New Year's. I ring it in the next morning. You don't
stay up to ring in the New Year? Wow.
I can't even. I'm telling you, last night Dion was trying to show me the highlights of the game, and I was laying there watching them, and then all of a sudden I'm snoring, and I wake up, and he's just looking at me. I try so hard to fight the sleep, I just can't, and I know I will not make it to midnight. So we don't really plan anything.
Nice.
So what about you guys? Do you guys have any plans for New Year's?
We're still planning on going Barbary,
however you say it.
We're going sheep hunting.
Okay.
For the New Year. I don't know exactly where. I told Lou, I was like, this is all you. You're the planner. You just tell me how much basically is the Airbnb and what all we need to get. But otherwise, he's the one planning the area and what all we're doing, taking, hunting.
Did you know that they're also called audads? When Dion was correcting me last night.
I barely know they're sheep.
Yeah. They're rams,
it'll be hilarious to be out there. I'm going to be like, what am I supposed to be looking for?
Is it a sheep?
It's actually happened to me before. When we went on our first Coos deer hunt, the first one he took me on was his own tag. And Daniel and I both went. And so we'd see Lou like in the binoculars. And then so I'd pull out my binos and I'm just looking.
You're like, I have no idea what I'm looking for.
Nothing. And he's like, are you looking under bushes? I'm like, sure. And then I'm like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be looking for. So
it's still pretty hard for me to spot stuff. I look for like some movement or like a black spot or a dark spot, but I still like pass stuff by. And Dion's like, "Oh, look at that bear!" Like, oh no, 4 miles away, and I'm like,
I can't even see
where?
like in front of my face, much less 4 miles. I was having this conversation with one of the ladies yesterday when we were at the bow shoot, and we're walking from the target back to our bows, and she like lost sense of direction, like walking toward the bows. And I tell her, I was like, "This is why we're not allowed to hunt by ourselves."
That's true.
Because I would totally just get lost. Where are you? There's a tree.
Okay,
And
but what else?
a
The sky
tree.
and other stuff. I don't know.
Where are you? I don't know. There's like a million trees.
I got lost in the forest once.
Did you?
I did. Dion was really scared. So we used to live up in the mountains, and when Alicia would go to school, we would take off walking, and we would go shed hunting. So one day I just happened to not be paying attention, and it was the one day that I did not take my fanny pack, because I usually love to take a fanny pack when I'm walking. So I put my phone in his pack, and I just walked right next to him, and he's like, "I'm gonna walk high and you walk right here low, and then we'll meet back up." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I had the dogs with me, and I don't know how I lost sense of where he was at, but I kept going and kept going and kept going, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I can't find him." So I started kind of backtracking a little bit, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't find him. I'm just gonna keep walking forward, and I will hit a canyon somewhere, and I will hit like the residential area, because we weren't too far from residential." And I was walking and walking and walking, and luckily, it's crazy. It was just meant to be. I walked down into one of the canyons, and there was this couple that I ran across, and the gentleman was actually a gentleman that I had worked with, and I had just started working at the job over there. So I was like, "Oh my god, dude, can I borrow your phone, because I lost my husband?"
Oh no.
So they're over there laughing, and they let me borrow my phone, or his phone, I'm sorry. And I called Dion. He's like, "Where the heck are you at?" I was literally about to call search and rescue. And I'm like, "I'm over here in this canyon. I'm going to walk down. Just meet me at the end of it, because there's a road over there." And I finally ran into him. He's like, "Dude, you were this close to me calling search and rescue." Like, he's like, "How the heck do you get lost in this area? How do you get lost?" I'm like, "I don't know. And you had my phone." He's like, "I know." Like, shoot, I'm sorry.
What do you carry in your fanny pack?
Just my phone.
Oh.
So I was like, "Oh, it's just my phone. I'm going to carry light today." And then like a bottle of water I'll carry. But I'm like, it's going to be a quick little trip where we were going, and it ended up not being that.
Nice.
But that's usually all I carry. It's just so that way like my hands are free. When we're just hiking, I wear leggings, because I don't like to feel trapped, I guess. And when I layer up, I feel like I can't move around too much.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're just hiking, I just wear some leggings and a t-shirt, and we go.
Dang.
So it was bad timing altogether, but it's a day that we're both never going to forget.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I got lost. I do not have a good sense of direction.
I had a decent sense of direction, but if I wouldn't have known the area at the time, I would have probably been really, really lost, and I would have been freaked out. But yeah, that's my story of getting lost in the forest, in a small part of the forest where there was still places around. That's why he was so baffled, because it was a place where you really can't get lost, and I got lost. We've been all over bigger parts of the forest, and I've never gotten lost. In that particular day, it was my day.
That was the day.
It was the
meant
day.
to be that day.
Yep.
Dang. Lord, tell us about what Dion bought himself this weekend.
Oh my gosh. Well, he didn't get to go to the store until yesterday, because we both got sick last week. But yesterday, I love how he tries to convince me on like why he needs something. So he's like, "Oh, we got to go to Lowe's, because we got to get sheetrock to finish our honeydew list that we have." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and go and get it. We need light bulbs, by the way, and then we need this and we need that." And he's like, "Well, you know what? I'm actually thinking of buying a nail gun, because I'm sick of borrowing the neighbors." And I'm like, "Okay, how much is it?" So we go to that section, and he's looking. He's like, "This is the one, and it's on sale. And like we're gonna need it for all the other projects." And you know, like, we just need it. And I'm like, okay, you can get it. And so I started filming. I'm like, okay, y'all, here's another present that Dion's getting himself. And he's over there, like, kind of like chuckling under his breath. But that was the next thing that he bought. There's still a whole other week until Christmas, so we don't know what else is to come.
Lord, oh Dion.
What about Lou? Did he get anything else?
No, just the bow. We finished Christmas shopping for his mom. I mean, he got stuff for that AR that he got, but nothing like for himself necessarily.
I think it's pretty much Christmas year round, like we had talked about before. Like, they're getting stuff all year because they're hunting throughout the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Christmas was just a little bit of an excuse for him to just get a little bit extra.
Well, and it's literally all year when you really stop and think about it. I mean, so hunting season is going to roll still all the way through March, right? But then we're still doing like target season, so we're still practicing with our bows and getting all of this stuff tuned up. And then the draw happens in March, and then we start to prepare for our hunts individually. So now you're getting your weapons ready, and you're when we were prepping for like our hunt September, we did a ton of bow shoots because we were making sure we knew how our bow liked to be held, and the strings worked, and the bow worked, and our arrows were good, and all of these things. And so it's just year round. You're buying like a new arrow because you busted one, or refletching, or you're just constantly buying.
Yep, definitely. Yeah.
And I only talk about bows because I don't really know a whole lot about guns, to be fair.
I don't know a whole lot, like, in extent to them, but I can distinguish the difference between like a shotgun and a rifle.
Well, yeah. I mean, to that extent, yeah. I mean, I could very much point out what Lou has in his collection, but otherwise, like, to give you the details of what this one does, where's the safe on this one, like, I could not give you all of that unless I was looking at the weapon.
Yeah. If you put like 4 or 5 different weapons of the same style, then I'm kind of lost. I'm like, I don't know, they all look the same.
It's kind of like
Just
pistols, like, so they are all pistols.
Yeah. They all are basically the same. And to me, like, the barrel's longer or shorter, and then like your bullet's either bigger or smaller. Like, that's the only difference that I know between all of them.
That's kind of the way I get. You'd be like, look at this one, the bullet's like that big, and then you got a little shorty, and then you got it.
Yeah. I'm like, that's nice. I like that one. Looks like the other one that you just got.
So what's the difference? Oh, you know, it's got a trigger that's got this much, whatever. I'm like,
bolt action or lever action or whatever. I'm like, okay.
Ooh. Whatever you say. Whatever
I like
you
it.
say. It's literally Christmas year round.
Yeah, it is for them.
For us.
And for us, too.
I was like, for us too.
Mostly for Dion. But I think it's only because, you know, I don't expect anything. And if he gets it, cool. Like, he got me this snazzy new vest that I'm wearing underneath this.
That's why you look so puffy today.
That is why I look puffy. Like I told you, I don't get the thing about vests, but it was a gift that he gave me, so I'm gonna wear it.
I mean, I like how they look. I'm not a vest person.
Me either. I just don't get it. It has no sleeves.
What's to protect your chest only? I actually saw when I went to my niece's birthday party, one of the guys there had a heated vest. It's got a little power button, you charge it or whatever, and it heats up like the inside of the vest.
I'd be scared to get like 3rd-degree burns. What if it gets too hot and you can't turn it off?
I mean, you'd unzip it and take it off.
Oh.
You're right. For a second, I was like, what are you talking about?
But what if you're in panic and you just forget to
break the zipper? It's stuck in my hair. That would be hilarious. I can't wait to see you try this vest on. That's not what I got you for Christmas.
Oh, man. I was like,
now I know that she's afraid of fire. I don't want to burn. Okay. No gifts that light on fire. Check.
What else? What else are you guys going to do?
We don't have anything else planned.
No.
I'm excited to see what this hunt is like. I've not been sheep hunting. We're going to say sheep hunting because I don't know how to correctly say the other word.
I know. I don't want to get corrected again. Dion.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, when I told Lou what you sent me, I was like, so you mean Barbary? I was like, yes, what you just said.
I'm like, it's the same thing. I don't get it. I was so confused yesterday.
Is it
He
not a
started
deer
laughing.
or a deer? I don't know.
Yeah. Just because it's spelled differently doesn't mean it. I'm just kidding.
I was
I'm just joking.
I was going down a path like, where is she going with this? I have no idea. Lord.
Well, I wish you guys the best of luck. And I think if we would have prepared a little bit more in advance, we would have probably gone with you. But Dion still hasn't even finished making his weapon that he wants for that hunt. So we'll have to skip this one. It is over the counter, so we might do it a little bit later on with you guys.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It will be nice for Lou and I to get out there and spend some time just in the middle of nowhere.
Definitely.
I really like to get out and have like no service. Love it.
Feels
Love that
good.
experience.
You're like regrounded with
Mm-hmm.
nature.
Yeah. Have to reset. I mean, our kids are older too, so that helps.
Yeah, but it's nice to not have to have this glued to your hand. Like, it's so nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, mine's over there right now, but
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I was thinking about that yesterday. Lou and I were sitting on the couch, and he's on one couch, and I'm on the other couch, and we're watching the game, but we're both on our phone, like just scrolling randomness. And I was like, we probably should revisit this for the new year.
I agree. I was realizing that the other day too. It wasn't with me and Dion. Oh, our neighbor came over and he was hanging out and I made them some food. And I go and I do some stuff in the room and I come back and they're both at the table just like doing this. And I'm
Are
like,
you texting each other?
guys, you're right in front of each other. Get off the phone.
Yeah.
I fucking train of thought.
Well, that's all we have for you today. Jasmine is a wreck, so we are going to go. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more hunting experience from the wise perspective and follow us on TikTok for fun content. Until next time, stay curious, Camel Wives.
Bye.
Bye.
You're a mess.
I am. I was doing so good too.
Yeah, it was going well until it died. Then we're both like, what the fuck just happened?
I lost my train of thought after that.